Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new NSL live talk. And this time we are all alone, only with Mike Silvi, Michele Silvi, Hayabusa Hayabusa's Inside Center. Mike, we are talking without any of your teammates there now. Are you nervous?
Yeah, maybe just a touch because nobody is here to help me out with the talk.
Well,
But it's okay.
help is around the corner, I guess.
Maybe we have somebody. Yeah, here's Andy. Here's Andy. Right.
Help is around the corner. There you go. That's funny. That was coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. That was
Yeah.
That's funny. So explain to us quickly, where are you?
So I am to Dennis' house on his rigging loft where he works, and we are sleeping here tonight because we had a indoor training today and also tomorrow. But actually we should be in spa training outdoor, but because the bad weather, we decided to train some indoor and wait for the good weather.
And you are back from another trip that you just recently made. Thanks for letting me know about this. I didn't pay enough attention to it, but you're back in your homeland.
Yes, I went back to Italy because the Italian national that were the past weekend, so from 2 to 4 October. And actually that was really exciting and interesting. Everybody knows that Italy was not in the best condition to have sporting events because of the coronavirus, but yeah, with this nationals we saw how the sports spirit came out from the Italians and from the skydiving community. Even if the teams had not the opportunity to train so much, they wanted also to do the competition and do their best even without the training. And that's something that it's important for the sport.
Yeah, so how did they do it practically, logistically? There were masks and distancing, or how did they do it? What was the procedure?
Yeah, the nationals was held in Fano. So Fano is a big drop zone, and most of the time you stay outside the drop zone. Just in the bar, if you need to go inside the bar, you had to wear mandatory the mask. But for outside, everybody was taking the distance and just wearing the mask in the plane, or just if you have to walk the jump or creep in the jump, wearing the mask. For the rest, because you were outside, and if you were respecting the distance, was not necessary the mask.
Yeah, I mean, airports and drop zones are surely have enough outdoor space, to respect the distances and the regulations. So it could actually be done. It's probably only, I mean, especially if it is a smaller event, and I guess it was not like US Nationals or
no, of course it was a small event because Italy is not so big like America, and also because the virus, and because the period normally the Italian nationals are always in August, but this time we're in October because of the COVID. We were not sure to do the nationals in August, so they postponed in October. And of course, October people restarting to work, or they have no holidays, and so was harder. But at the end, they did the 4-way, the VFS event, the free fly, and speed.
And the participation was not bad at all. I mean, I have not seen the AA or intermediate scores yet, but you sent me the triple.
Yeah, there were like 5 teams AA and 4 teams AAA.
Mm-hmm. Which is, that's a reasonable participation compared to previous, Italian nationals. As you know, you're the expert. Fano is Livia's home drop zone, right?
Yeah.
Is that right on the Mediterranean coastline?
Yeah, it's in the Adriatic. No, in the Mediterranean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So is that where you live with, or where you used to live with your family before you moved to Belgium, and did you plan to visit? No.
No, I just went there sometimes to do some jumps in Fano because Fano is the, let's say, main drop zone in Italy. Let's say the most famous. And yeah, I just went there to do some jumps, some coaching, and some fun jumps for away and training also with the team, with Amnesia sometimes in the past.
Yeah. And now for last weekend, you went there to just watch the competition, or did you also do some coaching and jumping? Or?
I did some. I was helping out Extremo,
Okay.
and yeah, so I was on the other side this time. It's my,
You helped
let's
out
say,
sorry.
let's say it's my first experience. Like, I don't say coach because I was not coaching Extremo, because Extremo are all experienced skydiver, but let's say I was there to helping them out. And what was strange to be like the coach of your old, let's say, enemies, or
Yeah, I just
because
wanted
for
to
many
say that.
years we went against Amnesia against Extreme, and now being the helping out Extreme against Amnesia was a strange situation, but
Yeah.
was pretty challenging and fun. Yeah.
Do they hate you now that you left for Belgium, your former teammates?
No. We saw each other. We had a beer all together, and no, they were kind with me, luckily.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they should be happy for you. Not everybody, not many people get such an opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you would offer anybody of your former teammates the same opportunity, they
Yeah.
would probably go.
Yeah.
Although
Say hi to Chiara, Giuseppe, and Mario, my old teammates from Amnesia.
yeah. So how were the lineups? How was the competition? I mean, I looked at the scores, and the scores are posted by now. We get to that later. It was a pretty close competition, actually.
Yeah.
But how were the lineups? I have no idea who was actually jumping. With Extrema, you never know. Amnesia.
Yeah. So Amnesia, the lineup was with Livio, Giuseppe, Cossu, Chiara Brunetti, and Alessandro Anderlucci. That was the old former teammates of 610. It was the third AAA team that was jumping with Livio in the past.
That was Amnesia?
That was this was the Amnesia lineup. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And in Extremo was Paci, always the same inside center, Federico Angelotti, the tail, and outside center was Stefano Rossi and Antonella Chiarin point. But this is just let's say a last call, last minute lineup, because normally there was a guy before training with Extremo, a new guy, that after 5 jumps he get injured in June, so they just did 5 jumps and then they stopped. So they decided last week, 1 week before the nationals, to put together the team and try to do the nationals. So it was just like a last minute call lineup for Extremo. So they did like 19 jumps and 30 minutes of tunnel. Yeah.
Well, I guess none of the teams got a lot of training this year.
Yeah. But also Amnesia, they did like few hours and 80 jumps, maybe something like that. Yeah.
So both had about the same number of jumps. And then there was also the third, the upcoming team catch up.
Yeah. Also the catch up. Yeah.
And they had their normal lineup as they have been training.
Yeah, the normal lineup. Yeah.
Okay. And
but also the team didn't train so much. So this shows how the competitor spirit came out, even when you don't have the chance to train so much. Even try to do the best to compete, because many teams, they don't compete because they don't train so much. But if you don't compete because of this reason, it's you never compete in your life. This is a sport where sometimes you don't have the chance to train because the money, because the time, because maybe you're not a professional team. But for this, you don't have to to renounce to the competition, because competition always helps you to be a better skydiver, be a better athlete, and be a better human also, because the stress, all the things come there in one moment, and you have to deal with it.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. That's the exciting part of competition. So that's great to see that they came out just, they knew they wouldn't really, be at their highest performance level with the scores and everything, but they still just came out to, to do that. Well, how does it feel for you and for Hayabusa now? Because, I mean, there hasn't been a competition in Belgium nationals not coming, I guess, right? Indoor.
We have no idea. No, we have no idea. We have no idea. Outdoor, I don't think.
I'm glad that at least you did the Cloud Mondial. I'm hoping that some of the Italian teams may still throw that in too, because they're so.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but
yeah, I mean, yourself, you jump from planes for that. By the way, you mentioned that they were jumping from the Pilates Porta.
Yeah.
Did they train? I mean, are those jumps that they made, the 18, 19 jumps, did they train from the Porta too?
Yeah, let's say in Italy, the Pilates Porter is the main plane for skydiving. Huh? Only 2 dropson out of 14 dropson have the caravan. So they did like one here in 2018 in Ravenna, the Italian nationals with the caravan. But at the end, the teams complain about that because to their own dropson they only have Pilates.
Mm.
So at the end, they decided to do with the Pilates.
Well, at least the Italian teams usually they have their right-hand pattern.
Yeah.
How is it for you? I mean, in Belgium, Hayabusa is jumping mostly from left.
Yeah. For me, the jump with Hayabusa were the first jumps from a caravan, apart with Amnesia that we did the Mondial in Australia.
Wow.
But we didn't do so many exits. And also because with Amnesia I was outside center, so I was going out of the caravan from the inside. But now because with Hayabusa I'm inside center, I jump from the outside. So with Hayabusa was the first time from jumping from a caravan from the outside.
Yeah, right. So that's totally different actually from when it's interesting because the Hayabusa right-hand pattern comes also from an original right-hand door exit, right? So in Belgium, you and Hayabusa have that actually in common. You have the longer ago, not for you, but for Hayabusa, they jumped from right-hand doors.
Yeah.
And then they had to slide it over, as the French teams did, to jump from the left-hand doors. So, for everybody who doesn't, if you're watching Hayabusa videos, the inside center is not coming from the inside of the plane. He is the tail is still in the tail slot and the point is still in the point slot. But the inside center is actually outside of the plane and the outside center is inside the plane.
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing there. You had to switch.
And also the point is outside the plane.
Right. So he's in the point slot, but he is just set up in a different way. Now he's backwards, not forwards like the traditional left-hand doors are doing that.
Yeah.
So what do you find easier? I mean, the Pilates Porta is not an easy jump plane, that's for sure, right?
Yeah, there are different style of exit. Maybe the Pilates Porta you need to exit more stronger because there's no air. The door is really small, so you don't stand comfortable, and the air is it goes so slow that when you come out, you don't have the air. So maybe the caravan is of course easier because you stand more comfortable, and when you jump out, you have straight good air. But of course, it's faster. So when you stand outside, maybe it's more stronger to hold, but and just doing jumps and jumps.
Yeah.
Also the movement maybe because when I was outside center from the Pilates, I was like trying to do my movement from the Pilates more explosive, like jumping an E or an H. From the Pilates was more explosive, the movement, but from the Caravan it's just more smoother.
So that's actually a coincidence, because in both teams you are outside of the plane, even though it doesn't really fit. You know, you were the outside center from the right hand door, so you were outside the plane on the right hand pattern, and now on the left hand plane you are actually the inside center. You're outside of the plane because you switched over.
Yes.
So the monkey climbing you're used. Strong air.
Yeah.
Well, the soft air from the Pilates spotter, is that coming because it's a slower jump run airspeed, or why is it actually that the air is soft?
Yeah, it's because it's lower and because you stand so small in the door, you know, because you are like all like there in the door trying to jump as far as possible from the plane, and because it's lower. Yes.
Interesting. So nobody's using the Strat, because the Pilates has that you could actually somehow use the Strat to get further out the plane, or?
Someone use it, but not for all exits. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody is trying to copy basically, you know, the exit from left hand door, where you're close to the, like inside. Interesting. Well, nothing special for the Italian teams, because that's what they're used to, right?
Yeah.
And so what's going on in anything else from the Italian competition? And you know, so you saw that again, close, a relatively close competition. It went back and forth. I'm gonna take a quick look here and at the scores. You have them in your head probably, but
yeah, Amnesia won by 5 points. And with an average of 16.8, and Extremo 16.3.
Yeah, that's a difference of 5 points. So that is pretty close over a 10-round competition, because it was a 10-round competition.
Yeah. Even the weather was not so good, so the competition was really long, a long day of competition. And the competition started really tight from the first jump to jump number 4. Maybe you have the scores in front of you.
Yeah, I'm
but
looking.
The first jump was tight. The second was 1 point more for Extremo, maybe.
Yeah, it was actually, and you know, after round 4 they were still tight.
Yeah, after the round 4, to round 4 they were tight, and then to round 5 that was a 3 random and 1 block jump. Extremo had a brain lock, and Amnesia took 3 points, and then again they were tight with the rounds, but always Amnesia with 3 points more. And then another jump with 1 block and 3 randoms, where Amnesia took 3 points more. Yeah, because we know that Amnesia are really good with the random jumps, and also because they were also well trained, more trained. It shows how a team needs to train to have these fast jumps. Maybe Extremo, because we're more experienced skydiver with many jumps, they could handle more the technical jumps, because all the other jumps were like with 3 blocks or 2 blocks and 1 random. But with a fast jump, and when you are like an indoor team, maybe it's easier to compete, to handle it. And then again tight on the jump number 9, maybe, as I remind, and the jump number 10, Extremo, beat Amnesia by 2 points, because taking a different engineering of the jump, trying to do the best. Yeah.
It is interesting that, you know, the faster sequences with a random, like a block and 3 randoms, Hayabusa has always been very strong with a. Naturally they seem to like the faster sequences. That played out very well for them. They are really well known for that. So other teams, I guess, may put some more emphasis in this now. It's also interesting because I'm just posting a story today. I haven't been there yet, but it's coming later today. Another interview from longer ago with the French national coach and former competitor Jérôme David. And he made it very clear in this interview in 2003, that was 17 years ago. He made it very clear, that those rounds are the ones which are winning the competition. You have to be good with those faster sequences. And it is pretty logical, actually, because that's where you score more points. And
yeah, because if you miss maybe a three block jump, maybe you can lose 1 or 2 points. But if you fail like a 3 random jump with a block or 4 random jump, it's hard to recover after. Yeah.
So do you still, is Hayabusa still kind of aware of that and tries to be prepared for that? In your training plan, is there a specific attention, special attention to those kind of special sequences?
Yeah, of course. Maybe now in the first part of the program, with me, we are more focused on the block technique. Yeah, but of course we are starting to put some random jumps every time just to try to find some speed.
So that'll come later in the process.
Yeah.
The technical foundation has to be there first of all, of course, but yeah, interesting, very interesting topic. So I may pick this up later again a little bit more. What else was new in Italy? Planes, exits, the teams, a pretty good battle there. So that how many days did the competition last? Did you all get it all done on 1 day, 2 days, 3 days? How long?
3 days. In 3 days. Yes.
What was the how many jumps on these days? First day, how many?
One jump only, because they started late, and then the second day 5 jumps and 4 jumps the last day. Okay. Because of the bad weather, because of the teams, and also because it was Friday. So the Friday people were waiting other teams because we're coming from their own job, and the Friday in Italy it's working day. So maybe people were finishing to work the Friday and came at the end of the day. So they maybe did the first round at the end of the day.
That is always very interesting too, the psychology of that. I mean, I don't know, we have never really talked much about this, but I'm going to give this some attention to at some point, because it changes the psychology of a meet now, how many jumps and how the standings are. We just had this, the team from Austria, like Mantis, they just mentioned this in the interview that I had with them a few days ago. They were talking about they were actually in the lead after the first. They did 7 rounds after the first day, and then 3 rounds were left for the second day, and they said it was nerve-wracking. They said they could hardly sleep because they were in a position that they were not used to. They were ahead of in first place, and now the pressure is on. You have to defend your lead. So anyhow, the psychology of that,
yeah, of course,
can go in many different ways.
Yeah, but one day is different than another. So maybe if you feel down the first day, the second day can be your day. So that's part of the job. You need to be always ready to perform at your best.
Yeah, you have to be ready, but it's not doesn't mean that it's easy to be always ready.
Yeah, of course.
You have to be, yes, but getting to that position where you're always on top of your performance level, that's not that easy.
Yeah, well, what I was saying to Extremo is that when you are tight in a competition, like when you are better for only 1 point, maybe sometimes it's better to stay just lower of 1 point than stay above, because when you are second by 1 point and you have to restart the day, you go like more aggressive, let's say, more with energy. I remember my first competition in AAA with Amnesia. We were against Extremo, and Extremo had a really bad first jump where they lost by 5 points for a brain lock in a random jump. So they lost by 5 points on the first round. But at the end of the 10 rounds, we, like as Amnesia, we just were like more relaxed during the 10 jumps, without risk so much. But Extremo were pushing really hard, trying to recover the points. And then at the end of the 10 rounds, Extremo beat us at the last rounds for 1 point. So I can never forget that competition. And from that competition, I learned that you need always to give 100%, even if you are first by 5 or 10 points or even 20 points.
And it seems to be more difficult to defend a lead, you know. Interesting stuff. So what did you tell Extremo after round 4? You know, they were tied. So how that was on the second day. You know, the first day was the first round, so that was tied anyway, right? The first round. What was the first round?
Until the round 4 they were tied, and then round 5 they were down.
So what do you say then? It was a 3-point loss after that.
So
what do you
because
do?
maybe the first day the first round was tight, and the first round was with 3 randoms and 1 block, and they were tight. But then the first day just finished because they did only 1 round on the first day. And just we went to eat something in the evening with Extremo, and everybody was happy because this first round, because we didn't expect to be like tight with Amnesia with the 3 random and 1 block jump. So the guys were really happy.
Amnesia is them Extreme must have, sorry if I'm interrupting, but it must have been exciting for Extremo, because Amnesia is known for, you know, for the fast sequences, and here's Extremo tying them with a 24-pointer, so they must have been really happy.
Yeah, they were really happy, and they just were like party during the lunch and during the dinner, and then we went to sleep, and we started the second day. And for the first jump, they were doing with energy, but I didn't see the energy of the first day. So they were like saying, maybe we are tight, we can go like easy. And when they took the 3 points, when they lost the 3 points in the round 5 to Amnesia, I said to them, guys, I'm happy that you took 3 points from Amnesia in this moment, because it shows that you never have to slow down your pace. So you need to have all the energy, 100% energy for all the round meet. And so they restarted to go strong, to tight the jumps, and then of course the random jumps was for Amnesia, and then until the end they just gave 100%, and they did a good final rounds.
Yeah, they won the last round at least.
Yeah, also because there was not an easy round, was 13-14M. So we risk with a different engineering, and we won that round. But heads off to Amnesia, that with also not so many jumps did a good job.
Yeah, interesting. You know, this again, the psychology is interesting. I love it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, it's exciting. Yeah. So now you're back, and now there's a break from competition again until who knows when, right?
Yeah.
Everything goes well, your next competition would be the Wind Games, I guess?
Games.
The Wind Games.
It's not confirmed.
Or maybe so going to Eloy? If let's say you can, no? Okay.
No, for us, Eloy, I don't think we will go to Eloy.
Because November is still kind of far away, but it's not in the schedule.
No.
So it's mostly it will be indoor from here on, unless
Yeah, maybe the Wing Games.
Spa has a little good weather break. So would you still go jumping if the weather is good?
In Belgium, in October is not so good. No, we had we should have the outdoor training 4 days, and then Friday we moved to Algarve, to Skydive Algarve, to do 6 days of jumping.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Jumping continues, and then next competition will be the indoor competition.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Thank you very much for that update from Italy and from Belgium. So we have getting information now from both.
Yeah.
And so, which is even better. So you can go back and finish off the day with, was it Andy or Dennis there in the back?
Was Andy in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a surprise. You were at Dennis's place, but Andy is visiting. Or?
Yeah. Also, Andy is living here.
Oh, he's sleeping here for the when you train.
Yeah, because it's far from our home. It's like 2 hours driving. So we stay here by Dennis when we train in the tunnel here.
Yeah. And the tunnel is right around the corner.
Basically. Yes.
Well, enjoy. Say hi to Hayabusa.
Thank you.
And have fun with your training, and we'll be in touch. And thank you very much for the update, Mike.
Thank to you, and thank to NSL. See you for the next update.
Okay.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.